This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello, welcome to the next session on SAP ABAP. The last few classes we have discussed about what exactly are reports. Reports by using normal write statement. And also we have seen the ALV reports. So ALV stands for the ABAP list viewer. In the ALV we have two types of. We can do the ALV reports by using two ways. One is the function modules and another one is the object oriented ABAP. So in the ALV, there are a lot of features. So normally, if you develop the report by using write statement, so we have to look the internal table, then we need to write in a write statement. So which will give some time and which will consume some time and it will give the low performance. And also alignment of the data. Suppose if you do the write statement with alignment with offset functionality, suppose if you want to add some more fields in between and you need to change entire output. So that is also one of the disadvantages by using normal write statement. And also you cannot sort the data, you cannot download the data into Excel, and also you cannot perform the sub aggregations, and you do not have an find option, and look and feel is also not good. So all these options will be provided by ALV reporting. By using ABAP list viewer, we can get all the functionalities. And the function modules, there are a lot of function modules we have. So if you want to display the ALV report, there are three steps. One is the you need to build a final internal table for the output. Then you need to build a field catalog. So field catalog is very, very important in the ALV reporting. So there are two function modules. One is the reuse ALV list display and another one is the reuse ALV grid display. With this function model, we can display the data in the output. And so if you want to build a field catalog, so this is the structure where you need to reference this structure to build a field catalog. So for this, you need to write in the field catalog. You have different kind of fields, column position, and field name. And if you want to enable that field as a key field, then you can pass the key field. And suppose if you want to enable the field as a checkbox, you can enable the checkbox. If you want to edit the field, we have an edit option. And if you want to do any sum for the price and quantity fields, you can do in a do sum. And also apart from this, we have different kind of other parameters in the reuse ALV list display or grid display. Suppose if you want to do a subtotals, and we have a sort field, IT underscore sort is the interfacing parameter where you can define the subtotals. And also if you want to do an interactive reporting in the by using ALV function models, we have a parameters called user command parameter. Suppose if you want to set your own application toolbar, you have a set PF status parameter in the function module. So uh, we have seen the how to set a custom application toolbar by using ALV report. So in the output, you need to go to system status, and normally this is an SAP standard program. This is an SAP standard GUI status. You need to copy this, and then there is a parameter I underscore callback underscore PF underscore status set. So you need to copy into custom PF status. Then you need to write in a subroutine. So pass the subroutine to the function model and define the subroutine to get your own custom application toolbar. So where do you set your application toolbars? What is the transaction code to set application toolbar? What is the transaction code to set application toolbar? So 11, 12 days. Okay. SE41 is the transaction code. You can copy your own application toolbars. Yes, you can set your own application toolbar. But in ALV, and you need to define a subroutine. In the subroutine, you need to write this code. And also, suppose if you want to do an interactiveness, and we have interactiveness. Okay, I didn't define this, but we have a parameter, user command parameter. In the user command parameter, you can pass subroutine, and in the subroutine you need to use SciUcom. Okay code type SciUcom in the subroutine, and also one more interfacing parameter is the selection field. Suppose if you click on some field, you should be able to get the field name and field value. So how can you get it? That So there is an list underscore cell field that you need to define the subroutine. And also suppose, yeah, um, and also the field catalog you are doing manually like this, but if you want to get the field catalog automatically, so we are going to use function model reuse underscore ALV underscore field catalog underscore merge. But here you need to define a data dictionary structure, and that structure you need to pass to this function model. And suppose after you build the field catalog automatically, if you want to add your own attributes in the field catalog, you need to read the table field catalog, and you need to read with the field name. What are the field name if you want to add? So that field you need to add and enable that your own attributes like edit option, like checkbox, or else if you want to define your own um, descriptions, so you can do and you can modify it. But here we are writing in a modify statement. So if you don't want to write in a modify statement, so what you need to use here? Yeah, perfect. You need to use a field symbols. Suppose if you use the field symbols, automatically targets the addressing object, and the data will be modified automatically. So that also we have seen in the last few classes. And also, if you want to provide in the subtotals, we are going to use the parameter it underscore sort. In the sort, you need to define what field, based on what field you need to do the sum, and what field, for that field what you need to do subtotals. So if you provide the subtotals, it will give the order total value automatically. It is going to calculate, it is going to provide a totals for your output case. That's what we have seen in the last few classes. And so maybe we'll go to the program once and we'll revise, then we'll go to the next topic in the ALV reporting. So nobody did the exercise. Sai, only Sai completed the exercise. What is the password? Welcome to the program. So see guys, I forgot everything. I don't know what is the program name. So you can easily track C10 and go to see ALV reports. This is my transport. Expand and see the programs which are created here, and also invoice. I think this is the one. I think this is the big program. Yeah, you can see this is the big program we have defined. So here we have defined the types for the internal tables, and also this is the output internal table types, and we have a checkbox field, and we have the fields from different database tables. So sales report, we have used VBAC table, we have used VBAP table, and we have used KN11 customer master table, we have used ADR6 customer address, and also the email address, SMTP address is email SMTP. Okay, and next, the output, we have combined all the fields from all the database tables. We have defined one structure types. And also we have used LIKP, LIPS. And we have defined the internal tables for all required thing. And this is the input selection scheme for our program, VKWRG, VTWG, and SPRD. And also we have given the data as an input as well. And the start of selection, and we have selected the data. We are fetching the data from database based on the input, and based on the VBAC data, based on the selection data, we are fetching the data from VBAC table by using for all entries. So if you want to fetch the data from secondary table based on the internal table, we are going to use the for all entries. And also we have material number will be available in VBAC, and we are fetching the data from MARA table or MAKT table for the material description based on the data material from the VBAC table. And also the customer will be available in the VBAC, and based on the VBAC data, we are fetching the data from KNA1 table. And also the address details we are fetching. The KNA1, we have a customer address. The address number will be available in the field called ADRNR. So based on that, we fetch the address details from the ADRC6 table. and we did in a sort to do in a binary search, and also we are looping always. First you have to loop the data from the item internal table. So we uh, we loop the data from item internal table. Here we are doing combining of data from multiple internal tables. So we have almost 1 and 2 3 4 and 5 database tables we have used. We combined all the 5 database tables data into the single internal table. That's the final internal table. First loop the data. The record comes record by record. Loop means it will process the multiple records and record by record. So first record comes and stores in the work area. Then the ABAP data we are transferring into the output internal table. And after that, I need a material description. Suppose if you want to get a material description, we need to pass the material number to the MAKT table and pass the material description MAKTX to the output internal table. And also we have header data, sales order header data. The header data will be available in VBAC table. We are reading the VBAC internal table. Why we are reading read table? Because for one adder, you will get only one record. So if it is in a one record, if you want to read single record, we are going to use a read table. Suppose if you expect multiple data, then only we have to use a loop case. And same way everywhere here also Kanar is a key field in the KNA1 table. Pass the customer number and read the customer master data and pass that data to the final work area. Then email address. So you have an ADR NR, which is an address number. The address number will be available in KNA1. Pass the address number and go to ADR6 table and read the email address. And after reading all the data, so we have a multiple records. So you have to store the final output into the final internal table to store the multiple records. So now we build a final internal table. Then second step is we need to build a field catalog. So this is the field catalog internal table. And we build a field catalog internal table with the reference to the structure sys underscore ALV underscore sys underscore field cat underscore ALV. That is the reference. Yeah, sys underscore field cat underscore ALV. This is the reference. And how do you know these references? So you need to see the interfacing parameters of a function module piece. There you are going to get this what reference you need to provide it. So if you give other reference, it is going to give a dump. Okay, you have to check the function module. What is the reference for the field catalog? You have to take that reference and you need to build in a field catalog. So in this structure, we have in a different fields, and if you double click this, it goes to the here. See, this is the types and which is declared with the two other structures. These are the two other structures which are included, and the main contains all the fields which are required, not main. So ALV1, double click. What happened? Sys main 0. Yeah, here you can see column position. What column you need to print the output? What is the field name in that column? You need to print it. And also, if you want to do in a currency and quantity fields, you can do it. And if you want to do in a round off, okay, suppose there are different decimals. So suppose I have 5 decimals. So if you want to do in a round off, you can do that in a round off. And also you can provide a key, and if you want to print an icon also, you can do an icon. If you want to enable that field as checkbox, you can do that checkbox. And no leading zeros, you can do the no zeros. And also you can do a do sum. If you want to do sum, you can do that do sum. And also if you want to provide your own field descriptions, field labels, we are going to use selection text and all. And so these are all some of the field catalog attributes which we have to define it. So the same thing we are building over here, the field catalog. So we are providing in a column position what column you need to print, and what is the field name you have to print in the first column, that is in the checkbox. We have given our own field label choose. And the second field is VDLN and sales order is the selection text, and this is a key field. And also we are doing an interactiveness on that. So that's why we are providing a hotspot. So you are going to get a hand symbol over there, guys. And also the third position, art spot. Okay, are you providing art spot for everything? No, only material we are providing, but item we don't want any art spot, guys. So why I need an item as an art spot? It's not required. And also, whenever you build it manually, the field catalog, definitely you need to put in a clear statement. Otherwise, what will happen? Suppose here my field is checkbox, right? So this parameter, actually checkbox should be an editable mode. So and also this field like as a checkbox. But sales order number, do you put as in a checkbox? No, you cannot put in a sales order number as a checkbox. So suppose if you don't clear it, these parameters, these attributes are copied into the next field, and you are not going to get a proper output. But this is suppose user asks, I would like to add one more field after this field. Then what you need to do? You need to write a code over here. You need to write the code, right? And also, so to avoid this actually, so we can build the field catalog automatically, and also we are writing a lot of logic over here. Okay, so if we don't write this kind of logic, and which is not suggestible, you need to build the field catalog automatically. Just you need to create a structure, data dictionary structure with the output fields. So these are all the output fields, and take that structure and use the function module reuse underscore ALV underscore field catalog match. And suppose if you want to add more things like checkbox is not available, so that is not built with the existing field catalog match. So that kind of times, what you need to do is you need to read the internal table, then later you need to modify the internal table base. So here we also did, we have used other two things, the two parameters are PF user set. So this is the parameter which we will use to set our own custom toolbar. This is the parameter to provide an interactiveness user command. These two are the subroutines, and we have defined the subroutines and also layout. Suppose if you want to do in a striped pattern, we are going to use the layout, and here we are passing the GT underscore field catalog. And suppose if you want to do in a subtotals, we are going to use a sort place. And here you can see user command. Whenever you use a user command, suppose if you want to have an edit option, actually you need to get an object, ALV object, the output object ALV geo underscore ALV, an edit option. If you want to capture the editable values, and we should get the object of an ALV output, then we need to call the method check changed data. Then only you are going to get a changed value space. And also you need to refresh the table display after you do some kind of editable things. And also suppose whenever you declare in a checkbox, always we need to provide a select all option, deselect all option to the user. And the select all we are going to use SALL. So this is a function code which we defined in the custom application toolbar. Whenever you click on a push button, the push button value will be stored in which system variable? SciUcom base. So UCOM type SciUcom. Whenever you click on a push button, the push button value will be available in the UCOM. So when UCOM equal to SAL, when it is, whenever you double click, the UCOM value is the ampersand IC1. Whenever you do a select all based on the function code, whatever you define, so that will be stored in the SciUcom. If it is a deselect all, we are going to define DAL, that will be stored in the SciUcom. And select all means if you want to select the checkbox, we need to pass an X. That means the checkbox is selected. And if you don't want to select, then the checkbox value equal to the space. So this is what we did in the last class days. And also, I would like to display a logo on the output report guys. Suppose X good. See, this is the output report. Suppose I would like to print some text over here. And also I would like to print my EDG technology logo on my ALV report. How can you upload the logos into the ALV output? That we are going to see now. We have seen the select all. See select all. Yes, it is selected all the records, and this is the deselect all, and it will deselect all the records. And suppose if I select uh, some records, we have a delivery details, something maybe I can do an select all. Some order will have a delivery detail. Display delivery details. It is going to display the delivery details in the output page. See, this is my delivery details. So this is my delivery details. Maybe for the second report, I didn't design select all and deselect all the other things I didn't design. But the second report, the secondary list, we have shown something, the delivery details. And also we have enabling a hotspot on the sales order and also material number. Suppose if I click on the material number, it goes to the MM03 transaction. How you can do this? How we did this? How we did this? Did you remember? So, guys, there is one concept called SAP memory. So we have discussed SAP memory. It is a cross session or cross transaction memory, guys. So we are going to have a parameter ID, and the parameter ID will store the value in the SAP global memory. And there are two things: set parameter ID, where you can see the parameter IDs. Did you remember where you can see the parameter IDs? In the data element level. Set parameter ID, and the parameter ID is available on the domain C is data element level. Parameter ID and field, and what are the value you assign. So the value will be stored in the global memory. Suppose if you want to read the global memory data, we are going to use get parameter ID. The get parameter ID is MAT and also field, the value you can store in the data object. So what are the data objects? Okay, my data object is GV underscore MAT, and the value will be stored in the GV underscore MAT and objects. So the same concept we did here. Here is my material number. If I click on this material number, I am going to store this value in the global memory. See, double click, and it goes to the particular transaction base. So double click means what is the SIUCOM value? Double click ampersand IC1. See, when it is an ampersand IC1, what we are doing? See, when it is an ampersand IC1, and see guys, the clicked on field, the clicked on field will be available in the, this is important guys, selection field type slice underscore selection field. Okay, so in this structure we will get clicked on field name, clicked on field value. So clicked on field name, selection field name MATNR. So when it is an MATNR, I am doing in a set parameter ID MAT, and field the value, whatever the value you clicked on it, that value will be available in the selection field value. So that I am setting the value, setting the value in SAP global model. And also I am doing a call transaction MM03 to display the material, call transaction MM03. And whenever it call the transaction MM03, there is a program. That program automatically use a get parameter IDs. It's an SAP inbuilt function. This transaction automatically use get parameter ID and the MAT, and the value, whatever the value we set, that value will be displayed automatically. So that's an SAP memory concept. Okay, this is also a very important concept. And double click this and double click and okay. So whenever I click on it, M01, it goes to the M0C, the material MM03, M01 base. So this is the way we are going to provide an interactiveness, and also we did an interactiveness on the customer screen as well. So go to the customer number, see. So if you see the underline, that means we have enabled an hotspot on that, and click on 1360, and it goes to the customer master display XT03 transaction. See XD03 transaction. It's all customer details. It is going to display. Okay. This is a very good program, guys. So all the ALV functionalities are covered in this program. Almost we have subtotals, totals, everything it is there. See, these are the subtotals. To get the subtotal, we have used the IT underscore sort internal table, and you need to pass based on, so based on which data you need to do in a subtotal. So see, my based on the sales order number, I need to sum up the data, guys. Maybe in an item. See, this is my order. In this order, we have ordered four materials, four products we have ordered. So M01, M02, M03, M04. M01 cost is 1680, M02 cost is 3800, M03 cost is 1848, M04 cost is 1988. It is summed up the data and it is displayed the total order value over here. And also, guys, whenever you display an amount field, immediately you need to display the currency key as well. Otherwise, if you don't have the currency key here, so what is this amount? Is this USD? Is this INR? Okay, you never know. So what is the value? Always you must display a currency after the amount field is. And now my requirement is I need to add here a logo, guys. So how can you display the logo on the ALV report? So that's an entirely new topic. And now display the logo using function modules in ALV report. The transaction code is first we have to upload the logo in transaction OAER. So it's the transaction where you need to upload the first logo base. So maybe I'm going to define one logo, and do you see any logo? ADG logo here. Okay, I will prepare my own logo. Paint. Okay, small logo which we have uh, designed, and take this logo. Save as bitmap. There are different kind of pictures: PNG, JPEG, and bitmap picture. I'm going to save this picture as a bitmap picture. So it is a bitmap. Yeah, it's already there. Uh, so, okay, we have already this logo. Yeah, we'll use this logo. Okay. So where it is logo option. So already we have this logo. Okay, this is my bitmap logo. Okay, maybe I can enable. That's right. So this is the logo which we have. And go to the transaction. OAVR. This is the transaction. And In this transaction, class name for we need to give class name as objects. We have to give our own class name. Class name is pictures. Pictures. We have to give a class name as a pictures space. Next, class type. Okay. See the F4 and object key. You can define the key. Execute. You see, this is the picture, and we can export, not export. Create. Not here. Somewhere there is a screen, and select the logo. Maybe. This is the one, right? This is the one. Busy batch name. Okay. So you need to go to the document type screen, then you need to apply the create standard. Create standard document type. And click on screen. Select that. Okay, here we have selected maybe this is the one. We have and come back, and EVG B9 logo. This is the logo which we have uploaded into the OAER transaction. The logo name is okay. Now go to the program. So in the guys, if you want to display anything on the top of the report, what parameter you are going to use it? If you want to display anything, so in the top of the report, what kind of event you are going to use it? Top of page, right? Here also there is a parameter for the top of page. The grid display, everything is an interfacing parameter. You can see, so it's a top of page parameter. Okay, here also you need to do the same thing and create one subroutine for the top of page. Top of underscore page. So this is a subroutine guys, and what you need to do, you need to declare a subroutine for the top of page. Form top, whatever the name you have given there, the same name you should be given over here. And the interfacing parameter, I'm not sure. And top of page, save. And top of page using top of page using I think header and type splice underscore Do control space. I think there is a header, guys. I think Swiss underscore T underscore header. I think Swiss underscore. Uh, did you see any header? So maybe yeah. So list header. This is the parameter which you need to use. Header and top of page both are same. Provide page headers. Which one will provide page header? Top of page will provide a page headers. That's what we have seen in the basic ABAP reporting. So list header which contains the which contains, suppose double click this, you are going to see what all the parameters which we have. So list header, see there is a type. So in the header, what you are going to provide, is this in a header or is this in a selection field or is this in a action? Action means button is nothing but an action. So we want a header, guys. So this type should be in a header, and also you need to provide a key info. I think you need to write an info. So what kind of information you need to write it? So that's you need to build in this uh, in this in this thing, guys. Okay, come back. So write the header. Sorry, I think there is a table type as well for this. T control space T underscore list header. So this is a table type. Before that one is a work area, but I want an internal table. So if you want an internal table, you have to use T underscore listed header. And here I am going to define one work area. So ls underscore header, and which is a type of, this is a table type based using, this is a table, I can say T underscore header. This is, and this is my this LT means local internal table, but this is the name of local work area, and this is underscore list. So this is a structure. If you define reference with the structure, it becomes a work area. This is a table type. If you define the reference with the table type, it becomes an internal table. And now you need to build the data. The data in the ls underscore header hyphen. We have three fields. One is the type, and type, this is a type of h. H means it's in a header. And the value, what value you are going to display in ls underscore header hyphen info. You need to pass the data to the info. So info is, this is page header for the page header for the sales basic list. So this is the information which I am going to do, and append the data ls underscore header the GLB underscore header. So this is the one line which I am going to print it. Suppose if you want to print on which date this report is printed, example. Okay, I am going to print the date, current date I need to print. What is the current date? If you want to print a current date, what is the system variable? Current date, side data. Okay, suppose if I want to print current time, you can print the current time. Control. So what is the current time system variable? UZEI. Okay, everything is important. Okay, so it's the classes after summer holidays. Okay, everybody is blank to summer holidays. Everybody will forget everything. So even these 12 days, even I also forgot a lot of things. This is the header which I have built this. And also, guys, if you want to print the logo, in ALV report. Okay, so we have a function module, guys. The function module is reuse underscore ALV underscore commentary underscore write. So this is the function model which we are going to use to print in a logo on the ALV report. So call the function model. So if you want to call the function model, go to pattern, and reuse underscore ALV CON. So maybe I forgot the spelling. You can get it. See commentary right ways. So this is the perfect function. Okay. So use this function model. So this is the function model which you need to write. And IT list commenter, and here you need to pass the this is the I think double click it. See the this see guys. So Slicity list header. Okay, you can see here Slicity list header. This is the type. So here IT list commentary you need to pass our LT underscore header. So this is the information which we are going to pass. So then the logo is just now we have created a logo. The OAER is the logo which we have used. Control C and OK. So this is the logo which we have created. The logo we are going to print on the spread printer and print off list. I think this is not required. This is not required. Okay. If it is there also no problem. Okay. Now click, double click, yes, and execute. Okay. Missing parameter. See top of page. So error analysis. So one parameter is missing, guys. And whenever you call top of page, and one interfacing parameter is missing. So what is the parameter? A perform was saved top of page of the program. The current call contains the zero actual see no parameters is for this top of page. There is no parameter which is required. So that's what I suspected. This is 38. Change. No need to pass any parameter. This parameter is not required. This is not required. Top of page. So you need to have an internal table, right? So there it is not internal. Now you can see this is my internal table. And do the syntax. Wow, you can see the logo on the output. See, this is my header of an ALV report, and here you can see this is the page header for the sales basic list. Whatever the data we filled in the internal table, that is filled, and also the data, the date 2018 10/25, the time is. So maybe this the formatted data we need to inject it. So how can you do the format of the data? How can you do the formatting of a date? So here it is displaying fine, the logo is displayed. So on the page header of an ALV report, and suppose if you want to give a date, formatted date, okay. So simple is and site user DET. So how can you do this? So site user site data, right? Concatenate already string operations I told this. How can you do this? Concatenate first I want to date psi hyphen datum plus psi hyphen datum plus First, I want to date. What is the date format? Internal format YYYY That means 6 of 2. First, I want date psi I data. So it takes, I think, for you 4 to 5 days to come back. Okay. Then 2 and psi I data plus 0 of 4. So this is field and into my into is store that value here, and I want separated by what unit date. Okay, we can use slash. All right, time is column, right? Date is slash or hyphen or dot. So I put this. Just I am going to give a simple example. Okay, time we need to adjust and export. See, 25 and 2018 days. This is the way, whatever you want, you can do. The fundamentals are important. So this is the report, ALV report with a logo and a page header. Okay. So I have covered almost all the topics in the function models. We have used logos, we have used top of page, we have used interactiveness, clicking on the feed, we have used checkboxes, and also we have used subtotals, we have used hotspot, we have used editable option, and so next we are going to see the ALV reports by using object-oriented ABAP page. So next ALV with the object-oriented ABAP. So the functionality is same, but the way we are going to get the output is different. So object orientation means always it's in a class, right? We are going to use the classes to display the data in ALV report with logo. So did I miss anything? Irfan? Almost I have covered everything in this report. Okay, so most of the interview questions will be from this program only, guys. So if it is in a function model, everything, every interview questions in ALV covers this program. Okay, very important program. You can answer any questions in the ALV reporting by using this program. Same thing, you are going to get an interview questions. Okay, now we are going to do an ALV with object-oriented ABAP. Steps. We can display the steps of first step. Create screen. Oh. Okay, blindly you can create the step, create screen to display the ALV output. Okay, and create data, create the object by using class CL underscore GUI underscore ALV underscore grid. Here, after you create the screen, guys, so create custom container in the screen. And the third option is create object for the custom container using class cl underscore GUI underscore custom, maybe some name custom underscore untitled. So this is our one more class. These are standard classes, and also these classes are in a global classes case. So global class means where you can see the global classes. What happened? This side silence. Yeah. So custom containers. Global class means it's an SE24 class. Local class means the classes which are created inside the program, that is in a local class. But if you create in a class in the SE24, it is in a global class. So these two classes both are is in a global classes case. And maybe if you want to see the global class, SE24 is the transaction. Okay, what is polymorphism?
Having different functionalities at the same.
One program with different methods.
One method can be a different behavior.
One method will have different behaviors in a different classes. One method has different behaviors in the different classes. That's a polymorphism. Okay, we have seen with the practical, we have taken the flight as an example with the one is the passenger flight, aeroplane, and one is the cargo aeroplane. So we have achieved by using practically. So one method, loading method, loading method, boarding method. So which is behaves differently in different classes. And here the two classes case very important. First you need to analyze the class first. Okay, first you need to create a screen guys. So screen programming, or we'll explain later this concept, but we have a dedicated sessions. So the program we call module tool or dialog or screen programming. This is also one more. Model tool programming, dialog programming, or screen programming, or screen, dialog, or dyn. Okay, there is one more topic. The next topic is this. But as part of this programming, we are going to develop the screen stage. Okay, so as part of this, we are going to develop the screen programming. If you take any SAP program, so every program is developed by using module tool. Let's take an example of EH01. So which is one application for the sales adaptation. See, this is the screen designing. Okay, this is the screen design, how we design this kind of screens. So that concept is going to cover is in a model pool or dialog or dyn screen tool. Even if you want to display the output, you need to create a screen space. So if you want to create a screen, so to create the screens, the T code is SE51 is the transaction code, or else directly you can create the screens by using syntax also. So there is a syntax call screen, and suppose if you call screen 100, so it is going to create a screen with the 100 number base. So here just a shortcut I am going to give over. Just you should know here in the ALV call screen 100. That's it. Okay. So you need to create a screen to display the ALV output, and also create a custom container. There is an option in the screens. We have a custom container, and create the object. What is the create the object? What is the meaning of create object in the object orientation? What is the meaning of the create object in the object orientation? What is the meaning of the create object in the guys? We talk lot of things, instantiation, right? So object orientation is very important. We have seen beautiful pictures, human and also animals. We have seen aeroplanes. Okay, the object is an instantiation of a class base. So here my step is, so you need to create the object. You need to instantiate the class CL underscore GUI underscore custom container. Here you need to instantiate the class CL underscore GUI underscore ALV grid base. So what exactly the CL underscore GUI underscore ALV grid? First we'll talk about this class. Okay, first we'll explore this class first. Okay, SE24, and this is the class display. See guys, so in properties, we'll explore the class first. Properties class contains the attributes, methods, events, and types. So that's what we have learned in the object orientation. Apart from this, we have an attributes of a class, properties of a class. So what kind of class it is? Super class means. So what is the meaning of this? Here I have a super class. What is the meaning of what is this class and what is this class? This is a parent class. This is a child class. That means this child class is inherited from the parent class. So this is the concept, this object orientation concept. This is a parent class. This is a child class. That means so there is some functionality which is inherited from this class into this class. And also this is a public class. So you can call this class from anywhere, right? You can call this class from anywhere. And also go to the interfaces. So see, there are some interfaces which are also inherited into this class. So interface will provide a multiple inheritance. See guys, so here I have inherited multiple interfaces into this class. So inheritance, multiple inheritance possible with the interfacing concept. And friends class, suppose, so there is a private class. Why they make even this is also this is a private interface it seems, and that is inherited into this friends. And also attributes, you can see the attributes over here. So there are a lot of attributes which are part of this class. So there are n number of properties which we have here. So there are a lot of properties where we have this. And also see guys, so ampersand IC1, everything they have declared over here. And also important is methods. Okay, we have different methods here. Suppose if you want to do in a drag and drop functionality, we are going to use this. And suppose if you want to do the filter, so there are different methods guys. So display toolbar menu, if you want to do the toolbars, we are going to use this method. And also first one is set table for first display. One, that is the one method guys. Set table for first display is the one method. Set table for first display. So set toolbar. Set toolbar buttons. Suppose if you want to set your application toolbar, we are going to use a set toolbar buttons. This is the one method. So maybe we will use some of the important methods. Okay. One is first time the method is set table for first time this is the one method to display the data in. And suppose you did some changes on the output, and if you want to reflect back the changed data on the output, we are going to call refresh. One more method is refresh table display. Not exactly same this, but it should be like this. And suppose if you want to capture the changed values in the screen, we are going to use check underscore change underscore data. This is the method which we are going to use. All these methods are in the class cn underscore gui underscore alv grid. And set toolbar. How can you set the toolbar? By using set underscore. Just now we have seen one method. Set toolbar methods. Set toolbar buttons. And see set user command for the interactiveness. But see guys, for every actions, so we are going to use an events case. So if you want to do any action, what is the events in the object orientation? It provides a status of an object or nothing but it's an action. So see, suppose if you do the double click on the if you do a double click, so there is an event called a double click. See, uh, double click. If you see, yeah. Suppose if you want to do a double click on the output, normal ALV report, what we did, we have used an interfacing parameter at user command, we have declared a subroutine. But here everything is an event. For every action, we need to use the events case. For any action in the object orientation, we are going to use an events. For any interactive actions, for any interactive actions, we use events in the class. Okay, so we'll use all the functions by using this class, and every method or event will have an interfacing parameters. See, double click and parameters. You can see e underscore row, e underscore column. So what row you clicked on it and what column you clicked on it. So that kind of information will be available on this classes case. Okay, that's it for the day. Tomorrow we start freshly on the object orientation with ALV reports with object oriented ABAP. Okay, so that's ALV reports, and we are going to see the ALV reports with screen and without screen, and then I will take you to the module full programming piece. Okay, so that's it for the day. And so if you want to do this exercise, and you can do this exercise, and so that's it for the day. So you have to use this program to build your own programs. Any questions? I think in this on this no one opened my PPT it seems. Okay. Oh, you opened it. Okay. Didn't wait. Okay. Already 200 slides is gone. Okay. Almost 200 slides. Okay. If you don't read, that's not a problem. But you need to practice it. Guys. Yeah? That's the important thing. Okay. Thank you all. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.
This conference will now be recorded.